Oh my goodness, this nigga's still talking.
Yo, 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 yo. This is just Talking Podcast. Your host, Doc Nah. Don't forget to drink water today. Right now, I have a different liquid near me. Some green tea mixed with some almond milk. You know. I'm a little sick, under the weather, as some would say. So, I'll be honest. I don't know. I don't know how long this show might go. I don't even know what I really want to talk about, per se. So just don't blame me if this isn't the usual hour or hour 30 that I've been pulling. Alright? How have y'all been today, man? How have y'all been? It's July 1st, the 1st of July. It's a new month. What are you into today? You know, recently, I was at work and I was scrolling through Twitter, or the app formerly known as Twitter. I was scrolling through Twitter, and when I was using it, like I seen some horoscope shit, right? And you know, I usually don't click into it, but for some reason, this is the third time that this specific horoscope chick had for some reason shown up on my timeline. And like, look, I do follow one or two, like, not horoscope chicks, but chicks that have their like horoscope in their bio type or in their name. So like I could understand if maybe they had put it on there, but they didn't. It wasn't a retweet or anything. Maybe they had liked it. But what annoyed me is that like it separated the horoscopes into different groups, right? And all the horoscopes basically said the same fucking thing. Like maybe with a different, like a slightly different tone, but it was all like, "Hey, so June the 30th is coming up, so therefore these are the horoscopes, with because this is in retrograde and whatnot." And it was like everything was like everybody's gearing up for change. Everybody's trying to move into a different light, kind of try and start on a new or different chapter in life. And I'm like, okay, this is moving time for a lot of people. This is all right. Gotta finish up time for a lot of people. Like this is a common time for like where niggas gotta start evaluating their life. It's the middle of summer type. Well, I guess technically, if you go by the summer solstice, which is the start of summer. Let me see, summer solstice date. Yeah, June 20th. That was the start of summer, technically. You know. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a regular, degular guy. A regular, degular guy, you know. Uh, but yeah, man, it's just been interesting. I just and that's like I guess for me, I never really understood Western horoscopes. I I I I I understood for a little bit the Chinese one back when I was younger. That shit was more entertaining to me. However, that one's like based off of like the year you're born, so it's like it misses here and there when you really think about it too. But hey, What can we do, man? It's technically a generalization that people use. So. Because, like, imagine everybody who's born in the year of the dragon having a fiery, temperate personality, you know? Or is there just a buff whenever they're in the year of the dragon, you know? They get a special buff to themselves? Does that buff only happen, like, rarely on, because technically, if it's like, it's 2024, so this is the year of the dragon, right? And, like, in the year of the dragon, let's say everybody who was born in 2012 randomly got a buff. Well, like, would somebody who was born in like July still get that buff in like January or February or March? Because it's like technically they're not on the 24th, and it's like, is it just that like specific day or spot? Like, how does the buff work? These are the real questions that we should be asking. But instead, we're worried about silly things. Silly things. So let's move on to one of those silly things. All right, let's talk about the NBA draft. Da 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 da. All right, we'll go by the Ringers draft grades. All right. So, for your number one pick, the Atlanta Hawks go Zakari Richard. Wait, was that the right number one pick? Yeah, my fault. Your Atlanta Hawks go Zakari Researcher, who was a pro in France. They got a draft grade of a B. The Hawks actually did it for weeks. Richard's Researcher has been garnered significant hype as the favorite to go number one. Legitimate 3-and-D athlete that stands at 6'8" and taller are precious commodities, which is a sell here. Researchers stands at 6'9" with a high and lightning quick release, who already has a feel for his likely NBA role as a shooter off the catch. Arguably his most intriguing skill, though, is his on-ball defense. Researcher is incredibly lateral agility for his size, allowing him to stick with smaller, faster players. He'll need to get his weight up, just like any other 19-year-old, but he has tools to be a quality rotation piece in the NBA. With the Hawks' future in flux, Researcher presents a plug-and-play skill set that makes sense in any timeline, which includes Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, both or neither. It is not a particularly sexy pick. Researcher is easily the most poached chicken and steamed broccoli type guy in more than a decade. The Atlanta had its massive draft night controversy exactly 2 months ago. I guess you can't really blame the Hawks for playing it safe. That's what the Ringer guy says. So it sounds like a 3-and-D catch and shooter. I don't know how high the potential is with that. Like, at that point, I would still want, and this is assuming, because they already traded DeJounte Murray away. This is assuming that Atlanta gets a good enough center as well. Like, I want someone who's maybe around, like, maybe not as good as Rudy Gobert, but around Rudy Gobert in terms of, like, rim and paint defense, but, like, is a lob threat. Like, I feel like that would be the best for Trae Young. And I don't know if that number 2 pick, Alex Sarr, was that, but the Washington Wizards got an A. I'm going to skip through this reading a little bit. Oh, wait. Do they have full scouting reports? So I'm just going to stick. All right. So shades of Harrison Barnes and Tobias Harris was Zakari Researcher. And that's what I'm saying. Like, are those really what you're looking for? Catch and shoot threat, potential versatility, movement shooter, connective piece on offense, could easily earn a role with his two-way versatility. When you see Alex Sarr, it's like He has Nick Claxton and Jackson Jr. type. And I'm like, that would have paired better, you would think, with Trae Young. And they're saying skyscraping wing trapped in the center of his body with a rare blend of size, finesse, and explosiveness. Good on-ball defense, shot blocking, positional versatility, and hustle. He shoots a lot of jumpers, doesn't make many of them. And that was the question with Alex Sarr coming in, is will he start hitting his jumpers? Number 3, Reed Shepherd. Chicago gets their guy, Reed Shepherd. Take a little drinky. So Reed Shepherd, Rockets get their guy. Shepherd is the most efficient player in college basketball this past season. He's a catch and shoot threat. Has a nice feel for the game. Oh my gosh. They gave him the got that dog in him badge. Is crazy. And good off-ball defense. Exceptional shooter, gritty defender who plays bigger than his body, with shades of Steve Nash and Derek White. Okay. Right now he seems more like a smaller Grayson Allen. Yeah, even smaller. So yeah, Derek White, Steve Nash. I can definitely see that. Stephen Castle. San Antonio Spurs are making a bet on Castle, whose ultimate upside is in the eye of the beholder. And that's good for Spurs because Spurs have had a pretty decent track record of being able to develop their guys. Gave this guy also got that dog in him badge. He has great hustle, great on-ball defense, and a great feel for the game. So that's a nice thing to play next to Wemby, Chris Paul. Someone who can just move the ball around, do that extra pass. What the fuck? Yo, my homie just messaged me and we just signed Derek White to a 4-year contract extension. Oh my lord. And this is before re-signing Tatum to a Supermax. Ron Holler, G League Ignite player. Number 5. Oh, yeah. So this is a B from the Spurs. Rock has got an A. I think those are the last few. Okay, we actually do see another A lower in there. But let's get to the Pistons. I'm only going to do the top 12, honestly. Well, maybe further. The Pistons hired Fred Vinson. And right now they have the Cavs ex-coach. Forgetting what his name is. But Ron Holland has athleticism, quote unquote, that dog in him, hustle and on-ball defense, shades of Cam Whitmore and theoretical Josh Jackson. Oh my lord, that's so crazy. Theoretical Josh Jackson. Didn't he also get drafted by the Pistons? Jesus Christ. Who did he get drafted by? Oh no, he didn't get drafted by the Pistons, but he played on the Pistons. Got drafted by the Suns. Oh my lord. Number 6, Tijane Salon, French player, and this was made after the trade of P.J. Washington, so looking for a power forward. And this guy has shades of Chandler Parsons and Aaron Gordon. So he's just a good defender. Experiencing a pretty good catch and shoot 3-point season. Going next, Donovan Clingan. Tijane was a B-, but Donovan Clingan, A-. Portland Trailblazers. It's crazy the Trailblazers also got the 7th pick, though. I didn't even know. He's this guy, and this is what I'm saying. It sounds like you could have traded down and maybe got, and I'm talking about the Hawks, traded down from the first pick, maybe gotten 2 picks from there, and what you'd want. What's a good catch and shoot? Like, okay, you just won 7 clinging, and then like the nigga that the Lakers drafted, like this a high upside shooter, but whatever. But clinging, and that this is after Portland Trailblazers also just got Denny Avdia, which is another good defender and a good shooter. So they already got their plan. And Robert Dillingham, number 8, Minnesota Timberwolves. By the end of Minnesota's postseason run, teams' need for a point guard who could give reserve units a jolt was clear. Trading up into the lottery was an audacious choice for the Timberwolves, but it's easy to see the vision. This draft was full of theoretical skill set without star upside. In a draft like that, you take the player who does have that potential. Dillingham is a pure hooper oasis. No player in this draft can match Dillingham's combination of deep shooting range and creative ball handling ability. He has the skills to be an effective pick and roll scorer from the jump. He is nowhere near as refined a facilitator as Trae Young or Darius Garland, players that Dillingham inadvertently draws comparisons to because of his frame. But he has rare explosive leaping ability for a player of that stature. Okay, 6'1" guard. And obviously, because they need that. This is a game that they need, and if he can become like, and this is what I was actually thinking, shades of Lou Williams and specifically Bones Highland. Bones Highland is what I was really thinking of when I seen him. Bones Highland played for VCU. Shout out to them. Ball handling, pull up threat, float game, movement shooter, and that's good for what the Wolves need, and they should be able to hide him on defense, even though he's going to be a lacking defender. Zach Edey, number 8, Purdue. He's a senior. Is a B minus for the Grizzlies. Edey needs no introduction. The back-to-back National College Player of the Year is almost larger than life. Latest test case on how much of mileage a modern NBA team can get out of a historically dominant offensive giant in one of the fastest areas of basketball. Only player taller with a longer wingspan is Victor Wembanyama. Wembanyama is nearly 100 pounds lighter. We'll need a dominant anchor like Cleveland. Memphis will need a big man in the worst way. It seems likely that they'll trade up to land a dominant anchor like Ligon. Instead, Grizzlies go even bigger, albeit with a more difficult projection. This has shades of Jonas Valanciunas and Ivica Zubac. Maps his center with a skill set that has transformed him from a fringe draft prospect to a potential lottery pick. However, he's going to be limited defensively when pulled away from the basket and lacks a perimeter game. And for high tempo games, he's not going to be able to go all the way up. And it's going to be hard when you keep in mind you have a high tempo player in Ja Morant that's coming back. Number 10, Cody Williams, Utah Jazz, B+, or just a B. Jazz is not afraid to take a long view on prospects. It'll take some time for him to fulfill any vision of what he might become. Of course, it's easy to project a player whose big brother is becoming an NBA star in short order. Well, okay. I guess this is J-Dub's brother. Dynamic finisher with a big playmaker with an impressive defensive toolkit. The brother of the Thunder lottery pick, Jalen Williams. He is taller than his older sibling with an open floor athleticism and defensive versatility, fluid ball handling. They only gave him a nice feel for the game so far. Didn't give him anything else really big. Matisse Bazalis, Chicago B plus, no filter, no problem. Bazales, the draft's premier trash talker, going to Chicago. His jumper looks good. Timing instincts and quick leaping ability make him an excellent weak side rim protector. His uncanny movement. And he's 6'8". But so much of the potential hinges on his ability to shoot. He's seen wild fluctuations in accuracy across different levels of competition, and his strength development, particularly in his lower body, to be able to churn through contact on drives. Bulls risk on losing Patrick Williams, a 2020 lottery selection in restricted free agency. They traded Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey. Perhaps selecting a long-term prospect suggests the Bulls are finally ready to move out from their weird, sad core. That's crazy. But he has shades of Franz Wagner and Lamar Odom. Connected playmaker with size, shooting, and the ability to play anywhere on the floor. They give him the spacing badge already. Feel for the game, float game, and off-ball defense. Nikolai, 2 pick. Thunder select him with the 12th pick. He has good feel for the game. And ball handling, they have him a 6'5", 5'8". Sensational score in the paint with a deep bag of touch finishes at the rim with either hand from unusual angles. Slippery driver who uses subtle pace changes, head fakes, and clean footwork. He's a stiff jump shot shooter, and defenders often sag off him to give him space to launch when he's spotting up or isolating. He's reluctant to shoot unless he is open, in part due to his low release. Devin Carter, selected by the Kings, A-. I wonder if it's also based off of where the grading that they get is based off of where they were in the draft. Sure seemed like the Kings have a type, a defensive-minded guard, shades of Drew Holiday, positive contributor in every single facet of the game, and he thrills viewers while doing it. Hustle, got that dog in him, crafty finisher, positional versatility, lockdown point of attack defender who stays seated in his stance and harasses opponents with his strength, length, and mindset. He's capable of switching to defend larger players too. He's a super active rebounder, shows toughness when boxing out, and awareness on how misses will bounce off the rim. He's made nearly 40% from his threes this season, hitting below 30% his first 2 seasons. He has ugly form, but it's effective. Son of former NBA player Anthony Carter. He doesn't handle pressure or double teams well. How good really is he of a shooter? He's a low, slow release, and extremely limited shooting off the dribble. Bub Carrington, Wizards also picked him up. Number 14, this is a B. Pull-up threat and playmaking. Filthy mid-range scorer as of good handle, tight crossover, athleticism. Though he needs to extend his range to 3, he looks comfortable off the dribble, and it should only be the amount of time until his three-point percentage improves. Heavily relying on jumpers that doesn't put pressure on the rim. Struggles shooting threes off the catch since high school, spraying the ball inaccurately to the left and right sides of the rim. With his excellent mid-range and free throw touch, it could be mechanical issues with the leaks off his fingers or the transfer energy from his lower body. He needs to add a lot more bulk to his frame, both for his ability to drive the basket and to play defense. Khalil Ware in C+, Miami Heat. Wow, what a great test case for how deep Heat culture runs. Ware is one of the most talented big men in the class. As with many prospects over the decades who share Ware's physical tools, it can be frustrating to watch him when he's not fully locked in. But the things that Ware brings to the table are undeniable. I don't know if you're allowed to not be fully locked into Miami. When the Heat selected Jaime Jaquez Jr. last year, I didn't quite see the vision. I gave the pick a C+. That seemed to have worked out well. Let's try again. Miles Turner, shades of a vertical interior presence with floor spacing upside. Okay. A dunk contest worthy athlete, good hands catching tough passes, around the rim with coordination to pivot toward the basket. Shoots an easy ball from three, 42% from three. Though only on 1.3 attempts per game. Combination of skills gives him a great pick and roll potential. Effort and focus have wavered going back to high school. He'll disappear for the entire half. When catching the ball around the rim, he sometimes brings it down to load up before elevating instead of just launching. Sloppy decision maker who doesn't handle pressure well when posting up. He telegraphs passes and often dribbles into trouble. His size suggests that he could have value as a screener, except he's not good at setting picks. He makes little contact, and since he's lean, NBA defense will often switch against him, but he lacks the moves on the post to take advantage. Jared McCain, number 16, the 76ers. Sharpshooter with a savvy sense for playmaking. Shades somewhere between Steph and Seth Curry. That's interesting. 6'2" height. Feel for the game. 41% shooter. Pull-up threat. Catch and shoot threat. Lacks a quick first step, limiting his ability to create a ton of space. Sometimes he's unable to turn the corner against longer defenders, which keeps him from getting all the way to the basket. Undersized, below-the-rim finisher who need to rely on creative finishes to score around NBA length. 17, Dalton Knish, A. Movement shooter, pull-up threat, clutch gene, off-ball defense, do-it-all score from all sides, from all areas of the floor, who has a tendency to catch fire. He has shades of Chris Middleton and Max Strus. 6'5", 6'9" wingspan. Okay. How did the fucking Magic and Raptors fall this low? It's just a quick look through of the rest of the draft. Don't really care about it too much. Hey, let's see about the Celtics pick. What do you give the best shooting team in the league? More. Smooth lefty shooter with deep range and some off-the-dribble skills. Big Brandon Podzemski. 6'6", 38% shooter. All ball mover, rebounding, feel for the game. Okay. That's great, Loki. Well, that's the draft. Ooh, I'm gonna definitely pause this real quick, then continue trying it another. I guess we're gonna talk about the nepotism stuff with the Lakers. So Bronny was selected to the 55th pick by the Lakers, and nepotism in the league has been going on for a long time. I don't think it should surprise anybody. I don't think it's necessarily like the worst thing. I personally don't care too much about it. People comparing the Thanasis stuff. Well, Thanasis was drafted a year after Giannis, so no one knew Giannis was going to be that good. I think they gave him Ray Allen comps. Like, they thought he was going to be a shooter. So, yeah. Costas, if you remember who drafted Costas? Costas draft. Was he even drafted? On the Gumbo. He was drafted by the Dallas Mavericks, I guess, with the 60th pick. So I guess you can argue that, oh yeah, he might leave the brother for that, but hey. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure there's Damian Lillard's cousin that was playing with him in Portland at some point. There was, if I'm remembering it correctly, there was conversations about it when Doc Rivers' son Austin Rivers got into it, and he just, to be fair, he had a nice, at least high school hoop mixtape. Like, there's been nepotism already said, whether it's in the coaching, the fucking GM up, like front offices, all that shit. There've been nepotism plenty of times before. And shoot, closest being on the Lakers joint was a way to try and draw Giannis at first, but then they got Anthony Davis, so they didn't really need him. Unless they wanted, they could have ran Giannis and Anthony Davis together, and that would have been nasty. Imagine Giannis being the center, and then Anthony. Well, to be fair, I don't think Giannis has the post moves enough, but hey, the lob threats and the whatever, it would be crazy. But my fault. Yeah, for me, I didn't really care too much about it until it was weird. First, they started saying Bronny didn't care to play with Bronny didn't care to play with LeBron. He just wanted to hear his name called, and to an extent, he didn't want to play with LeBron at all or not. And then you get calls from Rich Paul and Woj is even saying this. And then you find out Rich Paul is calling people behind the scenes and saying, "Don't draft Bronny, don't draft Bronny, don't draft Bronny," so the Lakers can draft him. I do think that's a little bit ugly and sus and nasty and B shit. But hey man, I'm just a regular man, a regular guy in a regular land, bro. So I don't really like, and nepotism has been like another place that nepotism is like crazy, and it's not just sports, it's the military shit. And that goes for military contracting, positions, all that shit. Shit. Technically, since nepotism can be towards friends and not necessarily family, it could also be, I mean, it's also in like when someone who you feel as though is like less of a, what's the name, is less deserving of a position than you, but they got it because of how close they are to the boss. That's nepotism technically. You know? Like I said, I don't think it's like necessarily a big deal. One of the excuses, obviously, is that this is a weak draft. So because it's a weak draft, it makes sense to draft a Bronny or a project type player. Because if you have a good development staff, who could be a better developer? Well, I don't know if LeBron technically works well with young talent. Pretty sure he usually trades them away for more veteran pieces. But hey, with more and better talent, you can argue. I just hope he doesn't get, like, Bronny shouldn't get more playing time than the number 17 pick that they just got. That's obvious. Shoot, I don't know if Bronny should get any playing time. Shit, the Lakers made enough cap space in order to sign Bronny to a two-way G League level contract. And they got his full rookie like signing. That's why I'm like, I'm not mad at LeBron for all that. I just wish that they didn't pepper, like the media didn't pepper it, and then just try and like blame it on other niggas too. Like, nigga, y'all barely talked about any other draft prospects, if any other draft prospects. And then y'all niggas try to make it be surprised that everybody's talking about Bronny and Ron and like the nepotism shit. Like, nigga, y'all niggas knew what y'all were doing. Don't be fraudulent, folk. Come on now. There's another thing I could talk about is like the balloon popping shit and whatnot. Look, man, that's a reality TV show. I don't really fuck with it. If I ever watch it, it's only been clips from either certain like people reacting to them, or B, random clips and whatever I see on Twitter. I think these 20v1s, these balloon shits are kind of ass, kind of cringy, kind of all of that. And I don't know why niggas is so drawn to it. I don't know, or I don't think niggas actually find or fall in love completely. I don't think like that has ever mattered. Um, but a recent one, a lot of people are talking about, well, this Ninja Turtle looking ass nigga. Alright. And let me see. Tell me the Abba and Preach niggas made a video on them, but I'm just gonna steal y'all niggas. I'm just gonna steal y'all niggas shit. And I'll admit it. When I first seen the video, like the clips, based off of, there was clips on Twitter, and they weren't the entire thing. And then based off of how the nigga in the like headline, I guess, or the person who posted it had framed it, he was all like, this nigga was getting disrespected. And then this nigga because he was getting disrespected, he hit them with this fire. These niggas, they got OD upset. That's how I seen it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched most of it through these niggas. And you can see that like this nigga's just a terrible person. Not like he got aggressive real quick. I like the way they said defensive, but he got aggressive real quick. Like the moment he got rejected. And like me personally, I don't think that makes necessarily a lot of sense. Niggas also built weird, but hey. They liking these niggas with the gorilla arms now, so. Nigga off the SARMs! The SARMs! That shit, you know? But hey. What else is there? I don't know if y'all can hear that. Some nigga with a motorcycle or motorbike out here just out the fucking blue out there. Like, goddamn, nigga. Yeah, man. You know what? I'm a little sick. Y'all niggas know that, though. I feel like I'm just gonna end this shit early, man. I tried doing, like, pauses and the multiple shit, but Jesus Christ. Do a nigga want to lay down and fucking chill for a little bit? Before I do that, I'll try and like garner a little bit more time. Talk about what I've done recently. I guess to start off, the pressure technically that possibly could have caused or added to this sickness. It's like Tuesday, I helped somebody move. Took longer than I expected and thought and wanted it to, but yeah. A lot of times you can't ever control that shit. I feel like that's how it usually is when you're helping niggas move. There's always fucking hiccups or whatever, and I'm like, niggas is moving off a time variant, you know? But hey. Then I came home, made food for the fam. Wednesday, I had a drive. Me and the fam took a little trip to Myrtle Beach. And I'm not a beach guy, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really like the beach. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm more of a water park guy. Like I like slides and shit. I'm not a swimmer. I don't even think you should be swimming like in the ocean for real. Like maybe you bring a boogie board next time or some shit. But like I don't see the natural allure of being and playing in the ocean, to be honest. But hey, I just do what I'm told. So I make the drive all the way down, mostly down. Switched off to with my brother. We're hanging out a little bit. Bring the gaming laptop. Get a little bit of Tekken in there. Get a little bit of Elden Ring gameplay in there. You know. I am in the like last map portion and I killed the dragon that like you are kind of like supposed to just walk past or whatever. But I killed him. Took a while, but I did that shit. So I'm just like, just chilling and whatnot. Got a nice Airbnb. I liked it. Plenty of space. Yeah. And it was a time. We're doing that. We did partially cook at the Airbnb a little bit, so this is just the wash. I did that shit. There was no broom or nothing, so I wasn't gonna sweep my hands or nothing. So we just left that part kind of how it was. It wasn't like crazy mess or nothing. It's not like we had cereal or anything spilled on the floor. It was just like casual, like, oh yeah, walking around. Sometimes might have shoes on, sometimes not. Maybe a little bit of sand from when we were at the beach or whatnot. Like, it's shit like that. Funny thing is like when we were at the beach for one of the days, like we only went to the beach one out of the like 2 days we were there, I want to say. Because we were there like Wednesday at like 6 until like Friday. We left around like 10 or 11-ish. Like AM. So we were there for like a little bit less than 2 days. We were trying to get there earlier the first day, but couldn't really. So, it wasn't like a long trip for real. But like that first day, that like middle day on Thursday when we went to the beach, we were like in there. I was in the water for a little bit. I'm coming out. I'm hearing the thunder clouds. Like I'm hearing them bitches. I tell my little sister, I'm like, pack up. She said, like pack up. My brother's still in the beach water. I'm like, call this nigga here. Hey yo, I'm calling this man. I'm hearing the thunder. I'm like, dang, bro. Imagine being full of water and you just get thundered on. Like that shit just hit the ocean. You get electrocuted. I was like, well, it's in my head. But like, so like that shit's happening. And by the time we're waiting to wash our feet off a little bit. But by the time we're walking up to it, it starts raining. And these dickheads, bro, these niggas cover like, and the reason I call them dickheads is because yes, they were there obviously first, there's little shower joints to wash off and everything. However, this nigga, instead of just like standing in a way that somebody else could use the other shower, because there's a shower on both sides, the nigga just is standing on that side of the shower while pressing the button on the other side for his like whatever, mom, significant other, whatever. Like the whole time, and everybody else is just standing there like, yo, why the fuck don't you just move to the other side? There's even 2 other girls out there. They're like, yo, what the fuck? And I'm just like, yo, nigga, you were taking up 2 spots because you were trying to help one. Like, nigga, if you don't get to the fucking other side and skedaddle, kick rocks, sayonara, Arriva Dursti birthday. What language do I have to speak in for you to hear me clearly? Adios, burritos is over. The Needles, the school could rap anything but my burritos. Shout out the Let It Shine movie from Disney Channel. Them niggas were cooking. Shout out Coco Jones. Shout out Coco Jones. Shout out Coco Jones. Shout out Coco Jones. Let me stop, bro. But basically, we get rained on and whatnot. Get back to the place, Airbnb all wet and soggy. All our shit getting wet and soggy. Run back, we're like, ah. You know, we're like, ah. Took the showers and whatnot. We just stay in for the rest of the day. We do leave, I think, later that night. Tried, like, this one senior frog place. Was a miss. We then just hang around because it was also on one of the boardwalks, so we hang around on that boardwalk. Took a jet boat type thing where there's this nigga, he just driving crazily in the water. And then went to a different boardwalk, tried the amusement. Me and my little sister tried the amusement parks there. My older sister, my brother's afraid of heights, so that nigga not getting on none of those like that. But my other sister was like, I'm just gonna hang around down here. I'm not really in the mood for all of that. I'm like, I get it. So I get on all them rides with her, with my little sister, and we just doing that. Fast forward, next day, we just packing, going back, drop off my brother at his place, hit a food place near there, continue going up, get a call. Oh, we need you to come into work tonight. So I gotta immediately go into a night shift when I'm already dead tired. And I know, and it sucks because like I did that night shift, and then after I come off that night shift, I have my regular afternoon shift. So I only get like part of that moment to sleep, or that morning to sleep, before I have to get up, get ready, and go to that next place. And it's just like so many hindrances and extra stuff and hindrances, you know. It was all a thing. But hey, for the most part, I have fun through it all mostly. I'm gonna try and like get back on my little grindy grind, on my little shitty shits. But hey, man, that's as far as I can really move and take this. Thank you guys for coming here and listening. I'm not gonna advertise this one on Instagram. I'm also not gonna advertise the next one on Instagram. For those that know, they know. But I'm gonna talk about what is to know on the next one. Until then, man. Just because I'm not just talking doesn't mean you can't keep just talking to your folks, man. Drink water. Get some tea in your system, maybe. Have a good one.
That was the Just Talking Podcast.